What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have the Sunshine Cup for the first time, a meta that involves fire, ground, grass, and normal type Pokemon. And my first go at it, I'm gonna stick to the meta just to try to get a feel for what this meta is about, and we're gonna spice it up over the weekend and into next week. But we have Shadow Swampert, Galarian Stunfisk, and Vigoroth. Vigoroth obviously gonna be one of the best safe swaps in this meta because there's not a lot that it can't handle when it comes to the Sunshine Cup. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what unique Pokemon or teams that you guys are running, and maybe I'll give it a try in future videos. Let's get right into it. All right, getting into the first battle, we have Swampert on the lead versus, well, none other than Vigoroth, a shiny one at that. So what we're going to look to do is go for a Hydro Cannon and then try to bail into Vigoroth. Not right away, but basically after our second Hydro Cannon as they decide to shield the first one. So this is fine. I'm going to go ahead and shield as well, and then try to see if we can bail into Vigoroth or potentially catch the charge move on Galarian Stunfisk. So we're going to go ahead and go for our Hydro Cannon. I'm going to swap actually to try to catch the charge move here. I was kind of determining what would be better, and I think catching the Body Slam as a resisted move might be the best play for me, because now they're going to have to load up on energy again and then bail out. Now we have a Diggersby that comes in, which is a really nice Pokemon for this meta if you guys do have access to it. I personally don't yet, so I'm looking to utilize my other ground type, which is going to be Galarian Stunfisk here. And what's great about Galarian Stunfisk into this Diggersby matchup is it's going to force them to throw an Earthquake, because if they don't, they have to go, if they go for Fire Punches, that's not enough to KO me, which means I'm allowed to get one more Earthquake off. This is now going to really set us up nicely. Remember, we still have a lot of energy on our Swampert, and we have a Vigoroth here, and Vigoroth again does incredibly well across this whole meta. So we're going to go ahead and let that charge move go through. We're going to come in with Vigoroth right away and load up on energy. So they decide to come in with Noctowl, another very common Pokemon in this meta. It has been a dominant flyer for months now, I think 9 months to be exact, or nearly 9 months. So I'm sure you guys already have it on your roster. It's very good in this meta as well, and thankfully Vigoroth actually does really well against it. Counter does neutral damage because of the normal flying typing, and Body Slams here, Body Slam spam is a thing. Can chunk it. As you guys can see, we did 2 Body Slams there. We're going to go ahead and shield this Sky Attack as I want to put more pressure and force them to swap out now into their own Vigoroth, and we do get the Body Slam out. This is beautiful because now this is going to be forcing their final shield, but they decide to let it go, which is interesting because now I'm going to be able to survive this and possibly counter down, which I am able to counter down, but they decide to throw the Body Slam right away just to get rid of me, which is fine. Remember, Swampert has over 1 Hydro Cannon, so I'm going to be able to get to 2 here against the Noctowl, so this should be a good game. I'm going to go ahead and throw 1, and then I'll throw the next one on CMP tie. I didn't want to throw back-to-back just in case they did get to the charge move, but I think they need a couple more fast moves. Yeah, they should need maybe 1 more after this in order to have it, but Shadow Swampert is going to take it there. And what I found with the Sunshine Cup is it's a real dance of energy here. You don't necessarily need Switch, you need a lot of energy, which is my favorite. We got Gliscor, good game to my first opponent. We got Gliscor here on the lead, which is obviously a really nice matchup because of Hydro Cannon. But Shadow Gliscor is something you need to fear. It's so deadly, and with not a lot of Ice-type Pokemon or any really dominant Ice moves, maybe besides a Abomasnow I can think of off the top of my head, this thing can really shine. So they're going to go ahead and swap out. They swap out into a Vigoroth. So what you need to do, and what I've noticed is playing against Vigoroths for years, you have to get yourself an advantage before coming into the mirror. So in this case, we have health advantage and we have shield advantage. So I can safely let this Body Slam go through and then come in and farm down and load up on energy. So I have Body Slams ready to go for the Gliscor on the back end. Now, in hindsight, maybe I shield that Body Slam, but either way, we're going to put a lot of pressure now on this Gliscor because Body Slam just does so much neutral damage, which is why Vigoroth, if it's not on your team and you're just looking for something that's like consistent and just gets you wins or consistently puts you in a position to win, Vigoroth is going to be a huge answer. Now, they get the boost, which is obviously something terrible that we need to watch out for and what was always the scariest thing, but they let it go. They're going to trust in Macargo to close this game out. Thankfully, I do get to a Body Slam here for some nice chip damage. But considering they got the boost, I was really starting to fear that Gliscor. But now we have an opportunity here. excuse me, maybe you guys can see it. It's catching the charge move on Swampert. So we're going to go ahead and swap, and we catch it. Beautiful! Now, I imagine this might be a shield bait with like Rock Tomb, but it is actually going to be an Overheat, which is even better because now their attack has dropped. They only have one shield remaining, and Rock Slide should do enough damage to KO from this range. So we will get that final shield, and then we can get to another Rock Slide. That's going to be a good game, very well played. Definitely came in clutch right there, catching the charge move, which is what I always love to do when I have low health Pokemon in order to win. To leverage that third shield is what I commonly refer to it as. All right, we got Talonflame here on the lead, so really positive lead again. Vigoroth was a tough one. Gliscor was a good one, but still tough, still scary. But Talonflame is a definite W right here, as we can put a lot of pressure down with Hydro Cannon. We also have Galarian Stunfisk in the back with Rock Slide. So they're deciding to stay in. This is a clear tell that this is probably going to be a Brave Bird. You got to shield this. There's no reason why they wouldn't. And now swap out, and once again, this is another Vigoroth coming in. So just like before, if there's a Vigoroth, safe swap in. Do not bail out right away. You need to put pressure down with something else, in this case Hydro Cannon, and then swap in. If you swap into the mirror in an even health and even shield situation, you're going to lose. That Vigoroth is going to take switch from you. So I'm going to go ahead and fully counter down. We should be able to get to 2 body slams here against the Talonflame, as they need to load up on quite a bit of energy, and they actually might commit to the farm down, which is going to set me up for a very unique situation. Let's think about the mind games right here. The opponent knows I have a Swampert. The opponent also showed that they're totally fine with going with it for a Brave Bird and then bailing out. We also get a final shield right there. So if they're going to throw the blind Brave Bird, which I'm going to bank on, what do you think I'm going to bring in? I'm going to bring in that Galarian Stunfisk right here, calling that they blind throw. And they threw right away. So we're going to go ahead and call this. Brave Bird heavily resisted, and it was beautiful. Galarian Stunfisk, what a monster, as they do decide to surrender. Again, that goes from reading my opponent. What did they do on the lead? They built up energy. They didn't swap out right away. They threw the Brave Bird and bailed. So they're likely going to do the exact same thing when we come back into that matchup. All right, so I didn't see the lead right there, but we have a knocked out, and we're going to go ahead. I think it was Swampert. I think this is the Swampert game. Swampert Mirror. We got a knocked out safe swap. Galarian Stunfisk coming in. Now, what's cool about knocked out, if you guys haven't invested in it already, I highly suggest you do. It has been a tried and true flyer. Is it has access to Shadow Ball along with that wing attack upgrade where it gains energy very quickly, where it can actually flip this Galarian Stunfisk matchup if I decide to no-shield the Shadow Balls, which it's looking to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to go for Rock Slides because, again, I don't necessarily need Switch. I need energy. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this Rock Slide. They decide to let it go through, and now I'm going to go ahead and let them take me out. I'm just going to try to commit to the farm. I want them to take me out. Please, get rid of my Galarian Stunfisk, and this is kind of counterintuitive, but I need energy. So I'm going to come in with Swampert, and I'm going to hard farm down with Mudshot right here. Now I have a very clear advantage against that Swampert Mirror. With even shields, I have so much energy. They don't have a charge move. I think they have 1 Mudshot worth of energy right now, and I'm almost at 2 Hydro Cannons. So we're going to be putting on a lot of pressure. I'm going to go ahead and go for another one. We still have our Vigoroth in the back as well, which is going to probably do fantastic for us outside of a hard counter. And they bring in a Pidgeot. So I'm going to go ahead and come in with that Vigoroth and now put down the Pain Train here with Body Slam Spam and counter. Now, obviously, there's a unique situation here. There are mind games to be played from the Pidgeot where they have access to the charge move Feather Dance and Brave Bird. Feather Dance is going to be applying a debuff to us, which, as you guys see right there, which is going to be lowering our attack, and Brave Bird is what you have to watch out for, that hard-hitting one-shot. So the mind game there is maybe they go for a Brave Bird first right away because the only damage I'm doing to them with Swampert is with charge moves. But I'm instead investing fully in Vigoroth right here because the counter damage and Body Slam Spam is what's going to win this game. We do get shield number 2. They commit to the farm down, which is fine. I have a good amount of energy here on Swampert, so I'm going to safely shield right here. Don't want to get caught getting hit with the Brave Bird. It is most likely a Feather Dance, which it is right there, but we should be able to get to this Hydro Cannon in time, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Something cool to note, they can't have back-to-back Brave Birds. So that was going to be basically impossible for them to win. So good game. It was close though. All right, we got Swampert versus Macargo. Again, very positive lead right here. I did notice a lot of good lead matchups. And once again, this is the theme of the video. Vigoroth safe swaps are going to be everywhere. When a Pokemon does this well in a meta, especially Vigoroth, you're going to see it everywhere. So what you're going to see me do is get myself that advantage. Do I necessarily need to go into my own Vigoroth right now? No. I have a Galarian Stunfisk in the back against the Magcargo with Earthquake Rock Slide. I have my own Vigoroth. But what I can do here with Swampert is get myself that advantage, come in on my own Vigoroth, and now I'm in a position where I can counter down and have energy, which is going to be the beautiful play right here. We still have even shields. My Swampert doesn't need full HP to take down the Magcargo, and we do see a Pidgeot come in. So this is looking to be a good game as we have Galarian Stunfisk still to basically sweep this back line, or the rest of their team of Pidgeot and Magcargo. They decide to swap into Magcargo to try to catch the charge move, but thankfully I am able to get to the Bulldoze in time, and even though Bulldoze is not the best ground type move, it still hits like a truck. Boom! One shots the Magcargo, and that is going to be a good game. I'm going to go ahead and come in with the Swampert here to force their energy. They have to throw a Brave Bird in order to take me out. A Feather Dance is not going to be enough. So Feather Dance, not enough to take me out, which now allows me to get to the Hydro Cannon, and then I can go into Galarian Stunfisk to close this game out because they're going to be forced to shield here. I swap into Stunfisk, but it was actually a CMP tie, which is perfectly fine with me. I can let this go. Galarian Stunfisk is my win condition. So we're going to go ahead and bring that in, and they will decide to surrender. So that is going to be a good battle. This team, pretty consistent, a lot of fun, very strong Pokemon that you guys have access to. If you guys don't have Shadow Swampert, normal Swampert would probably work just fine. All right, we got a Abomasnow. So this is a tough one. We're going to come in with our Vigoroth, but this is sometimes what happens, is Vigoroth can get deleted by other counter users that don't take super effective damage for Blaziken. But on the flip side of this, a little but, we landed the Body Slam, which means I can now take Switch. Is this the best idea? I don't know, but we're going to go for it because Abomasnow can potentially core break my team in the right situation. Now they bring in their own Vigoroth, which now is going to be a very, very deadly matchup for me to be able to overcome because it has counter, it has energy, or it has health. I'm not doing fast move damage, right, with Mudshot on either Swampert or Galarian Stunfisk. And it has shields. That's the only, this is why it's so deadly. Now, Abomasnow coming in, we're going to go ahead and go into Galarian Stunfisk here. But if they play this correctly, they should be able to win. And the correct play is to no shield everything on their Abomasnow. Now, I decided to give up a shield there on what I thought was going to be the Energy Ball. And ideally, I want to come out of this matchup with some energy because my Swampert has a charge move ready to go. So if I can get shields, which I'm hoping to get here from Abomasnow, then I might be able to win this game because Vigoroth is relatively low. They decide to go for double Energy Ball, which is fine. I'm now just desperately trying to load up energy, and I really hope they shield. I'm hoping they shield right here, but the play is for them actually not to, and that's a good call by my opponent because now they know counter damage is what's going to win this game. I do have a Rock Slide ready to go though, which is going to be enough to force a shield, but I won't be able to get to another one in time, so I bail out into Swampert, and ultimately this is a checkmate situation. This is why Vigoroth can be so strong on your team, is when your opponent doesn't have that fast move pressure or resisting counter, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I go down, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. So a double fighter, pseudo-fighter backline, right? You got Blaziken as a fighter, and then Vigoroth as the pseudo-fighter. But ultimately, this was a really fun team. Good way to kind of get the Sunshine Cup going. Swampert, it can be normal if you want. Galarian, Stunfisk, and Vigoroth. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.